Hi, I'm pleased to be speaking with everyone today about ranked choice voting for our elections here in Acton. Some of you may be asking, why even consider ranked choice voting? And that's a great question. The first thing to think about is what our shared values are. What does the town of Acton really care about? We value individual freedom and expression, inclusion and participation, diversity and fair representation, new ideas and innovation for the public good, constructive engagement and mutual respect, accurate and logical election outcomes. These are things that we value here in Acton, things that we are happy to say characterize the values of our community. And the big reason why we're talking about ranked choice voting is because ranked choice voting promotes these very same values that we in Acton here hold so dearly: individual freedom and expression, inclusion and participation, and the others. So I'm excited to talk to you about ranked choice voting because I feel like, and many of us feel like, this will allow many of us to live the values that we care so much about. So hopefully we have your attention now, and many of you will be asking, well, this sounds great, but what exactly is ranked choice voting of which you speak? Ranked choice voting, also known as RCV, is simply this. Instead of picking just one candidate, you can rank multiple candidates in the order you like. Put your favorite one first, put your next favorite second, and so on. If your favorite candidate doesn't have the support needed to win, your vote still counts for your next choice. This means that you can always vote for your favorite candidate without fear of wasting your vote. Let's say your best friend is running for office and she's super smart, but you're not sure she has the time or the money to get the word out this election cycle. If you vote for your friend, you might waste your vote and help elect a candidate who you like the least. With ranked choice voting, you can vote for your friend first and then vote for another good candidate as your second choice in case your friend doesn't make it. So ranked choice voting gives you the ability to always express your views fully without fear. Another flavor of this is in our town elections like the select board or the school committee. You can vote for multiple candidates. You don't rank them in our current system, but you can vote for 2 if there are 2 open seats or 3 if there are 3 open seats. Right now, with our current system, sometimes if there's a candidate you really like, you feel the need to do what's called bullet vote. You give up the full strength of your ballot and vote for just one candidate. In the current system, this strategic voting gives up some of your votes, but it makes it more likely that your favorite candidate gets more votes than other candidates, even if there are other candidates that you do also like. With ranked choice voting, you don't need to do that. Just rank the candidates the same way in order of your preference. You can always use the full strength of your ballot while ensuring that you're doing everything you can for your favorite candidate. You can see right here on the sample ranked choice ballot 3 flavors of ice cream that we're all familiar with, and then the ability to choose one of them as your first choice, one as your second choice, and one as your third choice. Just like the ballots that we now use, but with some extra columns there to allow you to more fully express yourself. I'll bet everyone watching this can rank those 3 flavors of ice cream. It's an easy process, and that's all there is to ranked choice voting. Okay, so now you understand how easy it is to use as a voter, but you may be wondering how the ballots are actually counted. Well, you're about to become an expert in counting those ballots. The example election here is for some candies. I think when we're all done, I'm going to need to get my favorite ice cream and candy myself. In this election, we have M&Ms versus Reese's versus Kit Kat versus Hershey's, and the way to count this is very simple. To start off, we only look at the voters' first choices. What did they select as their first choice on the ballot? And you see the results of this counting with M&M's in the lead with about 30 votes, with Hershey's at about 27, followed by Kit Kat and Reese's. In this election, we have about 100 voters. To win, when you have one winner in a ranked choice election, you need to have a majority, in this case 50 votes. In this case, M&M's has the most, but it doesn't have enough, only about 30%. This is where the magic of ranked choice voting comes in. Ranked choice voting is also called instant runoff elections because we're able to take the information voters provided on their ballots to conduct a series of runoff elections instantaneously. Well, nobody got a majority, so who was the least popular candidate? In this case, it was Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. So in this case, we're going to eliminate Reese's. That happens to be my personal favorite, but fortunately I do have a second favorite that apparently is more popular. When we eliminate Reese's, though, we don't just get rid of it and declare a winner. We look at the ballots of everyone who, like me, said Reese's was their favorite, and then we ask, what is your second favorite? M&M's picked up some votes and got 40, but they're still not at a majority. Hershey's picked up some votes too and is now over 30, and Kit Kat picked up some votes, but they're still the least popular of the remaining three choices. So no candy got over 50%. We eliminate the least popular choice, now it's Kit Kat, and repeat the process. All right, so we got rid of Kit Kat, and then we look at Kit Kat voters and said, sorry, but what was your next favorite choice? And with those ballots, M&M's were the next choice of a lot of them, the Kit Kat voters, pushing them up to about 60% of the vote, and that make M&M's our winner. And that's it. That's all there is to ranked choice voting ballots. So where is ranked choice voting used? Ranked choice voting is used around the world. It has been used for the most important elections, the federal elections in Australia and in the Republic of Ireland. It has been used in local elections in New Zealand and Scotland. With the peace accords in Northern Ireland, they began using it there as an important part of the peacemaking strategy. In the United States, there are 2 states that use ranked choice votes for their state and federal elections. In Maine, they've been doing it since 2018. In Alaska, as you may have heard, the very first successful ranked choice voting elections were in 2022. Ranked choice voting is sweeping across cities and towns in Utah, California, Maryland, New Mexico, Colorado, Oregon, New York, and more. All in all, ranked choice voting is used in some form in more than 28 states. Ranked choice voting is already used across Massachusetts. Cambridge has used it since 1942, and East Hampton has used it since 2019. 4 towns have submitted home rule petitions to get ranked choice voting in their local elections. That's Concord, Amherst, Northampton, and Arlington. Just waiting for those home rule petitions to be approved by the State House, and then they can take the referenda and implement. Amherst actually already had the vote, and as soon as the state legislature approves their voting petition, they can begin ranked choice voting right away. Ranked choice voting is under study at Brookline and Somerville, and there are local efforts underway to bring ranked choice voting to Belmont, Boston, Carlisle, Gloucester, Ipswich, Lexington, Malden, Melrose, North Adams, Pittsfield, Salem, and Williamstown. What are the benefits of ranked choice voting? They include more civil campaigns. Candidates running against each other are less likely to participate in toxic mudslinging because in addition to their own supporters, they also want to be the second or third choice of their opponent's supporters, and bad-mouthing their opponents in a negative way is not going to get them there. Another benefit of ranked choice voting is that there are no more spoiler candidates. The more the merrier. When 2 similar candidates run, the new entrant doesn't hurt the other candidate because their supporters can rank them first, and the other similar candidate they can rank second. People are invited to participate rather than told to stay out to avoid hurting their team. This encourages more candidates to run, which gets more engagement and more involvement from the community, which in turn increases voter turnout, especially with more expressive ballots that allow people to really get their voices heard. Other important benefits are increasing the diversity of first-time candidates. Because there are no more spoilers, there's not as much gatekeeping where other more established candidates tell newcomers to wait their turn for fear that they will hurt the most popular candidate in their party. Ranked choice voting also ensures elected officials most accurately represent the residents here in Acton. While it's good that we all get to vote, our current system has problems like vote splitting, which is when similar candidates run and makes it more likely that someone else wins whose views are less representative of the entire population. Ranked choice voting eliminates these kinds of problems. To summarize what it means to bring ranked choice voting to Acton, this will make a lot of Acton residents happy because Acton strongly supported ranked choice voting in 2020. 60% of Acton voted yes on ballot question 2 to use ranked choice voting not just for Acton elections, but also for state and federal elections. Ranked choice voting is very popular here. The proposal would start using ranked choice voting in the spring of 2025. The reason for this is to give us as a town time to prepare to make this change in how we vote. When you make a change to something as important as voting, we need to bring everyone along in this process. Election administrators will have to learn some new things about conducting elections. Candidates will have to update their strategies and how they run. And And even though ranked choice voting is very easy, voters will still benefit from understanding how to make the best use of their vote, answer some questions, and even get some insight into how their votes are counted. The proposal involves improving all of our elections with ranked choice voting. This includes the select board, the school committee, the finance committee, the town moderator, the water district, the housing authority, and the Acton Town Memorial Library trustee. Implementing ranked choice voting will have some process and equipment costs and benefits. The cost will include an initial investment and an annual license cost for the software and equipment. Some of the benefits include new benefits we'll get with the Democracy Suite software. It makes tabulation of all elections less error-prone, including state and federal elections, not just the local elections that will use ranked choice voting. Acton can also design ballots without paying for the design from LHS. Acton can program the cards ourselves. So, we're ready for ranked choice voting. And why should we do it? Well, we get more new voices in the process, it's more positive, more engaging for voters, more inclusive and accurate representation. The question really becomes, why not do it?